A rainy night in an ancient Roman library. There is no need to hurry tonight. The day has already finished its work, and the evening has quietly settled over the ancient city. Outside, the streets of Rome have become softer beneath a gentle rain that has been falling for hours. It is not a heavy rain. It does not rush or roar. Instead, it drifts steadily from the dark sky, landing on stone roads, tiled rooftops, and quiet courtyards with the same patient rhythm, again and again. The sound is so even that, after a while, it becomes impossible to notice where one raindrop ends and another begins. It is simply part of the night. If you listen carefully, you might imagine yourself walking slowly through those peaceful streets, wrapped in a simple wool cloak, making your way toward one of the city's quiet libraries. The building itself is not grand in the way that temples or palaces are grand. It was built for quiet work rather than celebration. Thick stone walls keep the cool air inside during the warm months and hold gentle warmth during cooler evenings like this one. The entrance is framed by smooth columns that have been touched by countless hands over many years. Rainwater slowly slides down the columns, following tiny grooves worn by time itself. Small pools gather between the paving stones outside, reflecting the dim light of a nearby oil lamp. Nothing moves quickly here. Even the water seems content to take the longest possible path toward the street below. As the heavy wooden door opens with a slow creak, the sounds of the rain become softer. They do not disappear completely. Instead, they become distant, as though wrapped inside layers of warm stone. The air inside the library feels calm and slightly cool. There is a faint scent of old papyrus, dry wood, olive oil, beeswax, and the dust that gathers only after many quiet years. These smells have blended together for generations, creating an atmosphere that cannot be rushed or recreated. Every visitor who enters notices it for just a moment before it gently becomes part of the background, as familiar as breathing. The room is illuminated by a small collection of oil lamps, resting in bronze holders along the walls. Their flames are steady, barely moving except when the smallest current of air slips through the room. The light they produce is soft rather than bright. Shadows rest comfortably between the shelves, never completely disappearing. They simply wait, quietly filling the spaces where the light does not reach. The shelves themselves are built from dark wood that has slowly grown smoother through years of careful use. There are no polished decorations, only simple craftsmanship that has lasted because it was made patiently. Scroll after scroll rests upon these shelves. Some are tied with faded red cords. Others are wrapped with strips of plain linen. Small wooden labels hang from many of them, each carrying neat handwriting that identifies the subject inside. History, poetry, agriculture, mathematics, philosophy, medicine. The collection is arranged with remarkable care. Nothing is crowded, nothing is hurried. Every scroll has its own place, and every empty space waits quietly for another scroll that may someday arrive. It is difficult to imagine anyone raising their voice inside such a room. One elderly librarian walks slowly between the shelves carrying a single oil lamp. He has performed the same evening routine for many years, perhaps even decades. His sandals make only the gentlest sound against the stone floor. Every evening he checks each shelf, making certain that every scroll has been returned to its proper place. Sometimes he straightens a label that has shifted slightly. Sometimes he brushes away a little dust with a soft cloth. Occasionally he pauses simply to admire the careful order surrounding him. There is no list to complete before sunrise. There is only the quiet satisfaction of caring for things that have already lasted a very long time. A simple wooden table stands near the center of the room. Its surface bears tiny marks left by generations of writers who carefully unrolled scrolls and copied words with reed pens dipped into black ink. The scratches are small and shallow. None of them tell dramatic stories. They simply remind you that many patient hands have rested here before. A clay ink pot waits beside several trimmed reeds. The ink has become slightly thicker during the cool evening air. Nearby lies a small knife used only for shaping pen tips. Even this ordinary tool has been sharpened so many times that its wooden handle has become smooth from constant use. One scroll has been left open upon the table. It contains careful writing copied by hand many years ago. Every letter sits neatly beside the next. The lines remain straight because the scribe first marked faint guidelines across the papyrus before writing a single word. Imagine the patience required for such work. One letter, then another. A pause to dip the pen into ink. Another word, another careful breath. There was no need to hurry because tomorrow would offer another page, and the day after that would offer another still. Outside, the rain continues its endless conversation with the rooftops. Water slips from clay tiles into narrow channels carved beside the streets. Small streams wander toward public fountains before disappearing into underground drains built by Roman engineers long ago. Occasionally, a distant footstep echoes somewhere beyond the walls before fading into silence once again. Perhaps someone is returning home after visiting a friend. Perhaps a baker is preparing dough before sunrise. Whatever the reason, the footsteps soon disappear beneath the comforting rhythm of falling rain. Back inside the library, the lamps continue their slow work of turning olive oil into quiet light. Every so often, one flame grows slightly smaller before brightening again. The change is almost too gentle to notice. Thin threads of warmth rise above each lamp and disappear into the darkness near the ceiling beams. The beams themselves are old oak, darkened by many years of smoke and time. They have watched countless evenings arrive and depart without ever needing to move. Near one wall rests a collection of empty wicker baskets that were used earlier in the day to carry newly copied scrolls between rooms. They remain exactly where they were placed, neither perfectly arranged nor untidy. A folded wool blanket rests across one basket. Perhaps someone will use it tomorrow morning when the air is cool. For now, it simply waits, gathering the soft scent of dry wood in warm oil lamps. Rainwater taps gently against one small window high in the wall. The glass is not perfectly clear. Roman glass often contains tiny bubbles trapped inside, causing distant lights to shimmer softly. Looking through it now, you can only see blurred reflections of the lamps inside mixed with the darkness outside. The world beyond has become indistinct. The library feels complete within its own quiet walls. If you were to sit upon one of the wooden benches, you might notice how solid it feels beneath you. It is not soft, but it is dependable. The wood holds the warmth of the room. Resting your hands upon its smooth surface, you could easily imagine the many scholars who have done exactly the same over hundreds of evenings. They too listen to rain. They too watch small lamp flames dance quietly while reading words written by people who had lived long before them. Hours pass almost without notice. Time behaves differently inside places devoted to quiet thought. The rain never seems in a hurry to stop, and no one inside wishes it would. It fills every silence without disturbing it. It asks nothing. It expects nothing. It simply continues falling upon rooftops, courtyards, gardens, and quiet streets beyond the stone walls. The elderly librarian completes another slow walk around the room. He gently adjusts the wick of one lamp, closes a scroll that had been left open, and carefully places it back upon its shelf. His movements are practiced enough that they almost resemble a peaceful ritual. Nothing dramatic has happened tonight. Nothing needed to happen. The library has simply remained exactly what it has always been. A place where quiet work continues one careful moment after another. Gradually, several lamps begin to burn lower, as their oil is nearly spent. Their light grows warmer and softer, casting longer shadows across the shelves. The rain has become even gentler now, almost like a whisper upon the roof above. Somewhere in the distance, a single bell marks another passing hour, though its sound reaches the library only as a faint reminder that the night continues its slow journey. The librarian pauses one final time near the entrance. He looks across the peaceful room, not searching for anything in particular, but simply appreciating the calm order surrounding him. Scrolls rest safely upon their shelves. The lamps glow quietly. The rain continues outside with endless patience. The stone walls remain as steady as they have always been. And perhaps as you remain here for just a little longer, you notice that there is nothing left to do. Nothing waiting to be finished tonight. Nothing requiring your attention. Only the gentle rhythm of rain, the warm glow of ancient oil lamps, the quiet company of countless scrolls resting peacefully in the darkness, and the comforting certainty that some places have always known how to be still. The rain continues to fall. The lamps continue to glow. The library continues to rest, and the ancient night, patient as ever, quietly carries you towards sleep.